Good morning, my dear children. I am going to teach you second chapter of your biology. That one is sexual reproduction in plants. You know that most of the plants are angiosperms, means they produce flowers. What are flowers? Flowers are the sexual parts of plants. Means that part of plant which take part in sexual reproduction is called flower. You know that flower contains four main parts: calyx, second one is corolla, third one is stamens, the group of stamen is known as androecium, and fourth one is carpel or pistil, and that collection is called gynoecea. You have already known about this in class 10. Stamens are the male part of flower, whereas carpel or pistil is the female part of flower. Stamens is made up of two parts, anther and filament. Anther is the upper part like this, which contains pollen sacs, or you can say microsporangia. Pollen sacs or microsporangia, which produces pollen grains from pollen mother cells. A large number of pollen mother cells, PMCs, or you can say micro mother cells, are present within pollen sacs. There are four pollen sacs in the form of four chambers, and these pollen sacs contain a large number of pollen mother cells which undergo meiosis to form pollen grains. They are also known as microsporangia. Microspores, or you can say pollen grains. After meiosis, pollen grains are produced. One pollen mother cell produces 4 pollen grains. Means to find 200 pollen grains, how many pollen mother cells are required? You can calculate it. One microspore mother cell or one pollen mother cell produces 4 pollen grains. Hence, 50 pollen mother cells are required to produce 200 pollen grains. Each microspore mother cell gives 4 microspores. Hence, 50 microspore mother cells, or you can say pollen mother cells, are required to produce 200 microspores. This is about the male part of the flower. That one is stamens. Now I am going to discuss about the female part. That one is carpel, or you can say pistil. What is carpel or pistil? It is the female part of flower, which is made up of 3 parts. First one is stigma, second one is style, and third one is ovary. Ovary contains ovule. Ovule contains embryo sac. Embryo sac contains egg cell. Ovary contains ovule. Within ovule, embryo sac is present, and that contains egg cell. Ovule contains megaspore mother cell. Megaspore mother cell. That one is microspore and this one is megaspore. Megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis, means it one is diploid and this one is haploid, to form megaspore. Out of these, when one megaspore mother cell divides, it produces 4 megaspores. But 3 are degenerated. Only one remains functional. Means one megaspore mother cell produces only one functional megaspore. Means to find 200 megaspores, 200 megaspore mother cells are required. This is the difference between this and this. This is about the stamens, ovary, carpel or pistil. After this, I am going to discuss about the pollination. What is pollination? Pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma. You know that pollen grains are produced in large number, and this one is like this. This one is anther. Anther produces a large number of pollen grains which are transferred to stigma. This transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma is called pollination. This pollination is of two main types. First one is self-pollination and second one is cross-pollination. The transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of same flower, or you can say transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of another flower of same plant, then it is called self-pollination. And if transfer of pollen grain takes place from anther to stigma of different plant, then it is called cross-pollination. If plant is same, suppose this is the flower, this is another flower, this one is another flower here, like this. This one is another plant having some flowers like this. If pollen grain of this plant, this flower transfers to same flower, this is called self-pollination. If pollen grain of one flower transfer to another flower of same plant, then it is also called self-pollination. But this one is called autogamy. Means you can say self-pollination is also of two types. Autogamy. What is autogamy? The transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma of same flower. This is called autogamy. And this one is known as jatonogamy. What is jatonogamy? Transfer of pollen grain from one flower to another flower of same plant. Plant is same. Then it is called jatonogamy. Cross-pollination, if transfer of pollen grain takes place from one plant to another plant, this is called cross-pollination. It is also known as allogamy, or you can say heterogamy. This is about the pollination. In my next lecture, I will discuss about the double fertilization and further steps which takes place after the fertilization. Okay, thank you.